AI is a really fascinating part of the Ethernet market. Fundamentally, it's a brand new workload, something that we've never seen before. And it has huge implications at a market level and an industry level. First, we're going from one network to three networks. We usually call them scale up and scale out as those additional back-end networks. In the case of those networks, one is like 10x the speed and the other is 100x the speed of what we've seen before. And that's creating a huge arms race or vendor race in order to produce products there. So it's kind of going from one to three networks, and then also this kind of incremental speed and change that we haven't seen in the industry before. So how do you ultimately move from, say, 100 gig to a terabit or a terabit to 10 terabits over the course of 1 to 2 generations? That's putting a tremendous strain on Ethernet, but ultimately making Ethernet better, which will allow these systems to scale longer term and create those AI apps that I think we as humans are all craving or looking to get. So if we look at the waves of Ethernet, what historically was, say, 200,000-300,000 ports of the higher speed in the first year is now 4 to 5 million. And these peaks are now measured in the 30 to 50 million ports per year in about 2 years. So we've never had one, 50 million ports that quickly, and two, a ramp of that magnitude. And what's important for the ecosystem is in year 3, 4, and 5, that speed will actually start curtailing off. So not only do we have new speeds, but they rapidly contract as that new speed comes to market. And that's why we're kind of here today, right? We're ultimately discussing those higher speeds and how we can get to them faster in order to enable that technology. So from a market perspective, we're talking about data center switching approaching and then breaching $50 billion a year, just data center alone. And the overall Ethernet switch market is now the second largest market in tech, only second to servers. So huge markets out there. And from a vendor landscape, it's really new, right? Ultimately, we have Nvidia as an entrant, both at an Ethernet semiconductor level and an Ethernet system level. So we have a new, very large vendor entering the space, and we'll have disruptive market share going off of that as well. It's a little bit too early to pick who's going to win or lose, but the Ethernet market really hasn't had a huge new entrant like Nvidia since Broadcom entered in the cloud days. So it's kind of a new test for all the vendors, but as I mentioned earlier, huge market opportunity here. So 650 Group is a market research firm. We've been studying data center for over 8 years. That's kind of our expertise here. So speeds and feeds, AI networking, merchant silicon, we've been tracking those forever, and in most cases, we're first to market with those research reports.